Yo, what's up guys? I got the Java in hand. Today's YouTube video, we are going to be breaking down Matej Svancer and his ski control. I think this dude's got some of the best all-around ski control in the game. There's a couple people that are comparable, like Kurkavisto has amazing ski control, but it's pretty hard to beat it. This is his edit from last year in New Zealand with his new fraction prodigies, like his Pro Model, the Pro Model 1, or the Prodigy 1s. And it's a crazy edit with some really crazy tricks, some kind of like some pretzel tricks, some mind-blowing tricks. Most of you guys have probably seen that edit already. But I wanted to break this down because it shows incredible ski control. What do I mean by ski control? Ski control, in my opinion, is basically just almost a representation of how in tune you are with your skis and just skiing in general. It's kind of like a weird way of explaining it, but Matej is just incredible ski control where you can see as he's skiing, especially in this edit, no matter where he is throughout a trick, throughout an axis or a flip, he always knows how hard to press into his skis if it's a butter, how hard to tweak a grab, where his tips and his tails are, how to shift the out of things, how much force you should apply to a butter. He's not catching edges anywhere. Like, it's very, very fine-tuned, and you'll see that in this video. And also, when it comes to ski control, he's very, very comfortable just moving his hips and his feet and shifting and bringing his tips down and around to really make tricks happen that other people can't make happen, or look away that other people can't make happen. There's a lot of tricks in this edit that are like not necessarily crazy hard tricks, although there's some crazy hard tricks in this edit, but there's some that aren't necessarily crazy hard, but they look really unique and different because the way his ski control is, or the way he's maneuvering himself throughout the trick. So let's get into it without further ado. I'm messing around with actually adding some arrows and drawings on the screen for you guys, so let's see how it looks. Right off the bat, this is one of the crazier tricks as well. The nose butter 5, the pretzels. I don't want to spend too long diving into every single trick because there's not it's a pretty long edit. But even this right here, like he's landing in like kind of landed sideways and he's coming into a butter here. You can see as he's landing, he's pretty upright and he's putting all the force into the front of his skis, which are, if we go any farther in this video, are perfectly perpendicular. But this is very indicative of his just body control and ski control because he's very upright and he's putting a lot of weight into the front of those skis, into the front of his shins to do what he's about to do next. Which, as we go, his butter off the noses, and then you can see here he's shifting all of his weight from very upright here to leaning and sitting back into his heels, and he's still very strong in this position. He's very upright in this position. His back isn't broken backwards or forwards as well. He's not very leaned over. If he was leaned over, he wouldn't be able to shift all this weight into the tails here. But you can see he literally went from all the way down the front of his skis to the tail of his skis in a matter of a second, just by how he's shifting his body weight. And you can see how perfectly he's balanced the weight into this bottom section of his skis right there. He's not shifting the weight into this section where his bindings are. He's not shifting it way to the end of his skis, because if he was too far back, he would be pressing too much. It's just perfectly placed in this mid-tail section of his ski. And I wanted to break down this one too. I know we're just going back to back on tricks here, but this one I think right here after this trick is very indicative too of his just general ski awareness, where his skis are, and also ski control. Because you can see here, he's doing a switch to disaster. He's going to disaster all, let me just bring out my drawing thing here. He's going to disaster all the way down to this area of the rail right here, which is a very, very large disaster. Most people, when they take a switch 2 or they go to do a switch 2 on, they're worried about catching their tails on the front of the rail here, especially a high urban on rail like this. Matej, obviously not. He's taking off as close as he possibly can to the rail, which is, again, very indicative of his ski control. He knows exactly where this tail is, and he's not concerned about it hitting the rail here. Most people would take off way out to the outside. That way they can avoid having their tails hit the edge of the rail, and they would come at it at a bigger angle instead of coming straight on like Matej is doing, which is very, very impressive to begin with. His shoulders are already opened up, and he's setting the rotation with his shoulders, which is something you kind of have to do if you're going to go this parallel with your feet to the rail. but very impressive nonetheless. He's setting the rotation forward. As he comes to land, he's going to have to shift his feet to catch up to him, and he's gonna have to, you know, his body's gonna reset a little bit because he's overextending with his body, and then he's gonna land sideways. We'll see how it plays out as we go on, but you can just see here, he's also lifting his tails up beautifully to get it up and over the rail, and really dipping his noses down, which is, again, not necessarily needed, but it's showing off really high level ski control. And as he's coming around here, you can see he's bringing his tails in. His body's kind of caught up with where his feet are, because, you know, when you do a shifty like that, especially with the tips down to the tips up, you know, your body's gonna have to do a bit of catching up. But as he lands in the next frame, you're gonna see that all of this comes together and lands super square on the rail, which is, again, very, very high level ski control and body control. And right there, he's completely square on the rail that quickly. And obviously there's more to this trick because it's Matej. If he didn't do a switch, you know, tails two with the nose down and then tips up, and not add a shifty out of it at the end like this right here where he's tail pressing, again, very, very high level ski control. He's doing all these very fine, you know, minute, I want to say movements, like very tiny movements, so quickly. Like this is a matter of seconds, right? And just coming out perfectly styled there. Switch tail butter 7, super, super clean. Switch cork 3 nose. These are like more just, I want to break this one down, but the other ones are more like, you know, air awareness movements and stuff like that than actual ski control. But again, he's grabbing this perfectly, knows where his skis are, his nose is throughout the trick. And this was not this one. The next trick right here is like kind of like doing a switch 2 back 4, but instead of doing it on the rail, he decided to, you know, nose press with his heels on the rail at the same time as they are on, his noses are on the snow, and then kind of butter 450 out. But you can see right here, the way he's landing in this trick, his whole body is, it's bent slightly, but it's very strong. He's very strong at this point. He's landed perfectly with this amount of pressure on the right spot in his skis, and his heels are, again, touching the rail, but there's not a lot of weight on it. It's more just brushing along the rail. But he has a really, really nice amount of body control, and the amount of, you know, forward lean and weight he's using to get this perfect butter right here. And then we'll watch as he comes out here. He's going to transfer his weight. I got to turn my drawing tool off. Transfer his weight slightly. We'll just go back a tiny, tiny bit here. He'll transfer his weight slightly. And he's coming, I want to get the right frame right here. Let's see if I can do it. Anyways, I can't quite do it, but as he's transferring, he's coming more upright and he's popping off those noses. If he didn't like lean more forward into the front of his skis off the noses there, he wouldn't get this same pop out that he's getting. So he's transferring his weight from like more like a little bit of a bent angle like this and less weight to straightening it out and really popping off those noses at the end. And we'll see here as he comes around, he tail presses to nice little lip too, making him look super stylish. Again, this is the same trick, just less pressed. And I mean, perfect nose butter 4 onto this, almost like a rail stopper rail. And watch how he comes out of it. This, again, it's just a little shifty, it's a little detailed, but it's very, very high level of ski and body control that shows style, adds creativity, and just shows how composed he is throughout the trick and comfortable he is with these tricks. Like, just a little shifty out is beautiful. Dub 10 off the hip is amazing. Quick little back 8, lead Japan, and then here he's doing a nose butter, well, we'll watch it all the way through. Nose butter dub 12 out of literally a pyramid. And when he does this trick too, obviously the nose butter is insane, which we're gonna, like, you know, this ski control where he's spotting right here is absolutely beautiful. But like, he's coming out of the dub 12, and as he's coming out of the dub 12, he's dipping into the underflip. Watch, he just quick little shifty. He's throwing his skis back this way, and he's shiftying with his body just to add this little bit of flair and style. Meanwhile, his feet are completely together and not getting separated at all. It's very, very high level stuff. if I haven't said that a million times already. And look how he's landing. Again, feet completely together perfectly as he's coming around. Little pretzel right here. Another like switch court, I guess 3 pretzel. This is a really, really cool one. So we would probably have seen it all the way through. But again, another dub 12. But as he's doing the dub 12, watch what he does. So most people, again, here, they're grabbing Japan. They're going to go into this underflip axis, which he does. But as he's doing this underflip axis, he extends it out and opens his chest, which very, very few people do in an underflip. Because, again, it's very hard to pull it back in and get back to your feet, let alone to stop yourself from wrapping to like a 14 or something. And he does it just beautifully. So he's still grabbing Japan here as he opens. He's grabbing Japan and he opens his chest. He goes from being in this ball here where he's grabbing Japan under flipping to literally the opposite where he's opening his chest. He's spotting, you can see his vision, he knows exactly where he is, and he's still holding on to that Japan grab. Again, very, very high level ski control. And the problem with this here is normally once you do that, your body wants to keep rotating around and, you know, getting you to come out to 14. That's an awful arrow. And you're going to land forward instead of switch. But watch how he pulls it back in. The way he pulls it back in is absolutely beautiful. Pulls it back in, shifties it. I gotta do the arrows for this too. Goes from literally like here to bringing it back in, shifting it into this tuck position he was in previously while still grabbing and tweaking his skis out to the side. It's very, very insane. I think like it doesn't get enough recognition as to what he actually is doing in the air, because it's very, very crazy. And he pulls it back around and lands perfectly. I don't know, man. I want to say he's like one of the more underrated skiers, because he's not underrated at all. But a lot of this little stuff that he does that's like very, very next level that you'll see in a lot of his edits goes unnoticed. Very sick axis for a switched up 9 where he pulls it under. I mean, a switch triple. It's not even a very, I want to say it's not a very good axis for a switch triple because, you know, he's doing a switch triple, or it's a forward triple, sorry. But it's not very flippy, and it's very hard to pull yourself back. You can see he kind of does like cork 7, then it's kind of like upright cork 3, and then he's going fully into this underflip where he's trying to get enough rotation to get the second flip around. And you can see he starts to shift his feet out to the side because he needs to get his feet back under him because he's not quite flippy enough. And sure enough, look how he does it. He gets it back under himself perfectly. It's really crazy. The switch triple 2, beautiful. I mean, this is just air awareness. This is in ski control, just air awareness. This is, this you can say is ski control. I mean, he's literally doing the world's biggest land into nose press. He used to do these in comp tricks where he'd do like a dub 10 or 16, I can't remember, or switch triple or something and land sideways tail press back to switch. Very, very cool. Like, look how he's extending as he's coming around. He's trying to judge his air time. He's extending fully out, trying to line his tips right here, that mid butter point of his ski, perfectly where he's going to land down here. And watch, he'll do it. Lands perfectly. He landed a little bit nose press, but then obviously the impact, you know, it's going to stop you from like pressing it out. Presses it out again and then goes back to forward. Oh, why did I just ungo from... Sorry, guys. But very, very insane. Little fast slide, not really high-level ski control. This is pretty high-level ski control. Little noses under. Misty 7 out. This I want to give a little bit, because first of all, this is a pretty crazy trick, but watch how he gets his tips, his tails, sorry. He's going so close to this rail. Like, his takeoff was right here a second ago, and he's managed to get his tails from there all the way up to there in a matter of seconds as he brings his noses down to do a nose butter, or a lip 2 on. Most people, again, when they do like lip 2s on or switch tails 2 on, they want to take a wide angle. They're going to start way over here to avoid the possibility of these tips right here hitting this rail. Matej, the exact opposite. He's going to go as close to the rail as possible and somehow manage to hop like so high and get his tips and his tails up and over this rail. No problem whatsoever. It's really, really crazy to see. And then as we go, he like literally brings his tips back over perfectly, lands fully square, grips his edge. This is crazy ski control, because I personally like skiing in Cadrona. I've hit this rail, and to do a lip 2 onto it and land right there is very, very hard. But to lip 2 on, start your rotation, land here, and then grip your skis back the opposite way. Like, look at this grip he's got on that front edge. Like, that's about as much grip as you could possibly get out of that front ski, while this one is perfectly balanced. And he's resetting his shoulders nicely to get this rotation to set. I believe it has a 2 frets 4, but it might be a 2 frets 2 here. And yeah, 2 frets 2, and a little ollie out, of course. Very, very crazy ski control. That's kind of just like a little bobble that looks sick. This is another really high level ski control thing. We're going to run through it quickly because it's cool. I won't do drawings for this one. But nose butter 2. But look how maybe I will do a drawing. Like, he's doing a nose butter 2, and instead of his skis and his knees just staying in line with where it is, he's shifting them out to the side as he's doing this trick, which is just absolutely mind-blowing stuff. And then, I mean, look at that crazy, that shifty is crazy. And then to pull it back to 90 degrees and not go to 450 and land on the rail like that is very, very hard stuff. Other way, lip 4. Other way, switch 2, prets 2, tail tap or nose tap out. This is a good angle of that first trick that we talked about earlier on, the switch 2. So we'll go back and look at it, because you can see how close he is to the front of the rail. And he's really just letting his skis, so patient, letting his skis come past and then up, over. And you can see he's already rotated with a lot of his upper body while leaving his skis behind, which usually is very, very hard to do. And that's why people take a wider angle at a rail, so they don't have to do that as much. But he does it so well, and he's so good at shifting with his upper body and bringing his skis around afterwards that he's still able to lock in and do tricks out like he does here. And he's disastering the whole thing. Like, he's landing perfectly sideways, which is so hard to do, and just right into a backslide front 2. Like, that is next level rail tricks right there. This is one of my favorite edits from last year, I think. And I mean, look at this. Brother, this when it comes to ski control 2, this is one of the highlights from this video. Like, not the switch 2 here. It's the next trick. I just don't want to miss it, because, you know, we do so much. So he's doing a 270 on. Again, most people at 270 on, they're going to want to get their tips up and over this rail here. When I was doing 270s, 450s onto this rail this year, I was making sure I get my tips up and over so I didn't have to worry about catching. He does the opposite. He's going to line them up so sneakily under this rail perfectly. Then he's going to spin around. And then he's going to tap them on this corner right there. And then he's going to go into the rest of his trick, which is just wild stuff to see. Like, see how he brings them underneath there? He's doing like a 270 on tips under, which, again, hard enough to do as it is. But then he's pretzeling back his rotation, tapping his noses off the front of this rail, then going back in full speed to do it into a front 2 perfectly. Like, I mean, they slowed it down because it is absolutely beautiful. It's magnificent to do that. You can see this right there. That's some high level ski control as well, even though he's just buttering. But again, I don't want to go too deep into this video because I don't want to waste all your guys' time on a 2-minute video. But it's absolutely crazy what this man is able to do on skis. I hope you guys like this kind of video. If you do, I can do a lot more breakdowns of different skiers like this. I really enjoy it. I think it's fun to do. And I got a new camera, so we wanted to try it out with the actual, you know, in-depth like breakdown and kind of like walk through screen recording webcam version of this video. So if you guys liked it, let me know. I can make more of these. It's very fun for me to make, and it's very easy for me to make. If you have any skiers you want me to do, let me know as well, and I'll break them down too. Cheers! If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Deuces.